Hi everyone, and welcome to another video on Space Engineers. I am Dratnor from Decade Gamers, and basically today there's been a new update, which is the 01.025, introducing glass window blocks, a new ship cockpit, and artificial mass blocks. So I thought I'd just basically start a video today going over the artificial mass blocks, which I haven't actually used yet at all. So this is basically one of my test areas. I haven't had a chance to play with it whatsoever, so first thing I'm going to do, just to make sure, is to get ourselves a bit of a target range so we can actually test out some torpedoes, as obviously that's what everyone's going to be making now. We've now got a block which will allow us to force, can't get that done there, actually allow us to push blocks away with warheads, so we should be able to start adding some nice torpedoes to ships. Other ideas, looking at dropships as well, and also escape pods. Obviously now with the gravity generators, which can be done to a single block moving in a single direction, it's going to make it a lot more easier for us to do things. So just made a quick target range over there just so we can mess around with. So first thing we'll do is, let's just give us a bit of a platform to work off. And I can't even press it properly. Let's change. Oh, it's been such a long time, I've forgotten how to play the game now. So if we just pick a random colour, we'll go with green. I like green. Let's make ourselves a little platform here. We'll also stick on top of here one of the new cockpits, which is cockpit 3. Looking at the actual crafting materials to actually make it, the only difference is basically the displays. The original cockpit 2 level is 10 displays and the new one is 4, so not really much difference, but the look itself does look pretty snazzy. You are looking like something out of a Star Trek, Star Wars kind of era. That looks pretty decent actually, that's really nice. So we've got our cockpit engaged. We'll also put a couple of extra blocks on top of here, and from this stage let's put some landing gear. So if we basically fill out this, we'll need landing gear, we'll need the gravity generators, we'll also need the, where's it gone, the artificial mass block, and we'll get some warheads as well, heavy blocks to build it with, and that should be all that we need. We don't really need any of that stuff. Oh yeah, of course we need the generator as well to actually generate the power, but we'll get a big one, I think, a big reactor. So if we stick a big reactor behind us on here, and then we'll put some landing gears, even though it's a bit big, but it's okay. Just to help us out, get a block already attached. We'll stick that one there, and that one there, and then we'll remove them, jump on out. Oh. And they're locked into place. Oh, they're actually adding the new sounds of the generators, which is pretty cool. So we have 2 blocks, which just need to work out now if we actually do need power. Current mass required input, so yeah, we do actually need power on each of these. So if we, there we go, beautiful sound, beautiful. And then on each of these we'll just stick, oh no, we can't come in, need to stick a block, and then we'll stick a warhead. So temporary, little quick, lovely torpedoes. and then in between we stick some lovely generators, point that direction, and then we'll move those blocks, and we'll see what they like to fire, if they fire. Hopefully they will. We come out a bit and we release them. They work fantastic. Obviously missing something here. Let's find out. What are we missing? Has it got power? Is it because... or do they need to actually be attached? Is it because... of course, the issue was I basically used a landing gear block, a space station block instead of an actual large ship block. So we'll just quickly do it again, give these a bit of a test. So we have the block, we then need the power, and we'll add ourselves a lovely warhead. Hopefully now those should shoot off. So let's have a look. So ready and release. Whoa. That was great. So we literally have propelled torpedoes. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to basically build a quick little platform so we can give a good test. I'll be back in a moment. Okay guys, I'm back. Yeah, it looks a bit weird, but you basically get the concept. I've just made a quick little turret with a big gravity generator running behind it with 4 of them. I've not tweaked the settings, they're just standard ones, so obviously they should be going out of full output if I'm right. I've had to put a lot of gyros on this to keep it stable. As you can see, it already wants to break off and go flying around. So we've added 2 torpedoes. We've got the warhead, the generator, standard block, the mass block, and then a gyroscope just to see if we can kind of keep it kind of going forwards. So if we get inside the cockpit, and as you can see we can move it around a little bit. Just trying to be wary that those torpedoes won't fly off. So what we'll do is we'll target where we want to go, and then we'll release and see what happens. Here he goes. I have to say that did really well. It didn't do much damage, but with the gyro it definitely helped to keep them in a straight line. And most likely if we add more generators to the back of it, obviously they'll go a lot more faster. But what we'll do is we will just double check the output of these actually, just to see how far. No, they're on full acceleration, all of them. So we're looking at, if we add more to it, the more power we'll definitely be able to get out. The further they'll go, the faster they'll go, and the bigger they are, the more destruction they're actually going to do. The other idea we had is the dropships. So just basically just go over to them now. Okay guys, here's our basic little test idea for a drop pod. It's not the best looking ship, I completely agree, but it was just a good idea for testing it out. So on the side of a ship, or inside the ship, we've got our drop pod. So just see how it goes. Got the generators on top pointing downwards, the mass blocks in the centre. Put some engines on the outside. Obviously they're actually not going to do anything until the inertial dampers are turned back on again on the ship, which are turned off at the present. So at least we can turn the power on, we can let go with the landing gear, and we should be able to get pushed away pretty quickly, and then as a dropship would do, be able to land based on the engines attached to it. So obviously we can run down, we need to evacuate, so get inside the ship, Turn on the engines and drop. As you can see, we've dropped pretty decent actually. Far away from the ship, we can initiate the initial dampers, and then from this point we could actually fly around, land on a ship or anything else, or on the planet. So the actual mass blocks do work incredibly well. I can imagine there's going to be quite a lot of ideas being chucked out there now on YouTube, but me myself, I am going to have a good play around, maybe try some massive big torpedoes. With the actual mass blocks as well, we will be able to actually make free opening doorways. So like with the piston doors that I've done before, all you'd need to do is actually have a normal door on a motor. The motor doesn't have to be activated at all, just leave it flowing. Stick a generator on the front of a ship, and then obviously stick the mass blocks behind the door, so as the ship flows through it will push the door open, or you can have the blocks on the ship, and we can test out that theory to see if the actual blocks themselves would actually push against the generator because of how much force is being used. So I might actually give that a try in the next video, but I hope this has basically give you a bit of an insight into the new blocks. I'll do another video which will basically include the door idea. We can see the best method to see which way it'll work. Also introduce the glass blocks that they've basically introduced, which are here. So we've got some nice looking glass now to actually make some proper decent windows and cockpit areas. And if you like the video, please leave a comment at the bottom, subscribe to us, check out our Facebook page. All the links are on our YouTube channel. See you guys soon.